So now I'd like to talk about verses in the Holy Book. Doesn't matter what Holy Book. We believe that there are two kinds of verses: particular verses and universal verses. Particular verses are those verses in the Holy Book that need desperately historical and textual context. And universal verses are revealed verses that are timeless, placeless, and filled with wisdom. The problem arises when we take a particular verse and advocate that, preach that as a universal verse. That causes a lot of problems. Let me give you an example. Chapter 5, verse 51 in the Quran. There's a verse that says, "Do not take the Jews and Christians as your friends and protectors, because they are friends and protectors of each other." Now this requires historical context. This verse came down in the 7th century when the Islamic community was a tiny, embryonic, nascent community struggling to survive, surrounded by enemies, outnumbered 10 to 1, both in number of people and in armaments when they were being attacked. And to survive, the very tiny Islamic community needed military alliances with Jewish, Christian, and pagan tribes. And according to Muslims, sometimes these particular tribes, they broke their treaties depending on how the battle was going, in whose favor it was going. It is in that context this particular revelation came down. In the same chapter, chapter 5, if you look at verse 69, just 18 verses down, there's a universal verse. It says, it doesn't matter what your religion is. You could be a Jew, you could be a Christian, you could be a Sabian. What takes you to heaven is having faith in God, being accountable for your deeds, but mostly doing righteous deeds. I said mostly because this is repeated several times in the Quran, that what takes you to heaven is not your race, not your culture, not your religion, but your righteous deeds. This is a universal verse.